Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, we are here today for one reason and one reason only. We want to glow like Charlotte Tilbury. We want to glow like the beautiful sweaty angels that they are, and oh good lord, they released their Glowgasm collection and I cannot function with how excited I am. So that's what we're here to play around with, test out. I picked up the entire collection as well as a couple old pieces just to see if it compares, how it is, so on and so forth. So because I did buy everything, some of this may or may not work for my skin tone. That's totally fine. Truth be told, I hope that one palette does work for me and one palette does not, because that would mean there's a lot nicer skin tone inclusivity than what I've seen in the past. So that's what we're here for. Let's just dive in because I don't want to wait anymore. Do you see this box? Do you see this I mean, I opened it, but like I haven't touched what's inside. So like I'm a little bit deprived, and I really just feel like I need to see these fingers. See how they're crabby? They need to get in here. That was a lot. Okay, so it looks like first up we have the Glowgasm palettes. Oh my, do you see how beautiful these are? Oh my god, they have like this nice like holographic strip in there. Is it holographic? I don't know, but it's beautiful. This, oh my god, like the aesthetics of this. Oh my god, so good. Now these palettes do retail for $75 a piece, and there are two different ones here. Which one is this? This is the Lightgasm for light to medium skin tones, and this is Lovegasm for medium to dark. Oh my, guys, look at that. Look at the packaging. Just look at it. Oh my god, so good. It's so pretty. Hold on. I was gonna move the camera in and do this the other way, but if I move the camera in, you guys lose the bright lights. Look at how stunning that is. Oh my god, like the colors. I'm diehard obsessed. That's really all there is to it. Ooh, yep. This, let me guess, this one's for the pasty people. Look at these colors. Oh my god, this shiny ass pink. Let's swatch, guys. Just Paige, stop talking. Oh, this is what happens when I get excited. Guys, are these like not perfect for my skin tone? Oh my, like you can almost barely see them, but the sheen is just perfect. They are from top to bottom. You have the highlight, and then underneath of that, the second shade is just called a multi-glow, which I'm assuming you can use all over. The third shade obviously is the bronzer. And then that last pinky sheen is the pop of blush or pop blush. Guys, these are so beautiful. I actually think I want to keep them back here because I feel like you can see them a little bit better, like the sheen factor. Oh my god. And also, just so you know, you open up the compact here, there is a full pan mirror in here, as well as these imprints. Guys, I just was zooming the camera. Look at how beautiful that is, because it's a Glowgasm, so Glowgasm Love Charlotte Tilbury. God, this is so like aesthetically pleasing. I can't believe how beautiful this is. Okay, let's go ahead and swatch the other one, which is for, like I said, medium to deep skin tones here. Let's see how different they are. Okay, hello, let me in. Thank you. I was really rude there for a second. I was getting nervous. All right, so here we have the other palette. Same imprint design, which I really love. I think the colors are beautiful. I think I'm going to keep these ones near my face. That seems to be giving them the best lighting. I feel like the deeper shades are nice. I don't feel like they're as deep as they could be. I feel like they should be just a little bit deeper, but I like the subtle difference between the highlight, because I feel like this highlight right here would actually work very nicely for medium to deep skin tones. It's not going to cast funny on a lighter tan, but it's also not gonna, I don't think, cast too weird on like a deeper skin tone. The bronzer, I feel like, has a nice depth to it. I feel like it could have went a little bit deeper. The all over glow is really beautiful. That would definitely, I think, work on a medium to deep skin tone. And then the blush down here, the blush pop rather, this one I question how deep that would go, but overall, I mean, as far as the palettes being slightly different, I do like it. I think this palette could have went a little bit deeper even and been better off, but I'm really happy that Charlotte Tilbury did release two different shades of this, because I actually just did a full video on the NARS palettes. These were their Summer Lights and Hot Nights collection. I'll link it up here. And one of the biggest issues I had with this collection when it launched is that they released two palettes, and I felt like neither of them would really work for any specific skin tone. Like you should have released one for light to medium skin and then one for medium to deep skin, because that would have been, you know, the right way to be more inclusive and well-rounded with it. So I really like that Charlotte Tilbury took that approach, and they didn't just make two palettes that would work for medium skin tone. They took two palettes and they were like, look, we want to curate them, make them work for everybody or for as many people as possible. So I do like that. This bronzer, I do feel like actually has a nice build to it, because I noticed when I swatched the lighter bronzer, I was able to build it up for a little bit of a nicer swatch. So when I did it with the deep one, it also builds as well. Now, do I think that a bronzer is something that you can really make universal for medium to deep or for light to medium? Not really, because everybody does have not only a different depth to their skin, but everyone also has different undertones. undertones and stuff like that. So something to consider when you're looking at stuff like this is A, see if you can find a picture of it swatched on a skin tone similar to yours, but also just remember that just because the palette says light to medium or medium to deep, that doesn't mean it's going to work on your skin tone just because you might fall in that range. I can't tell you how many times I have bought a bronzer or a palette or whatever that's like, oh, this is for light to medium, and it just doesn't work. Actually, a good example of that is the Icon bronzer or Iconic bronzer from Morphe that they released. I was so excited to try that bronzer out. I thought it was going to look great on me because it was the right tone and it was the perfect match, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is I'm so fair that it actually casts more of like a weird pinky vibe on me, and it just doesn't work. It was pinky orange and it looked so bad, but on light medium skin tones all the way to medium skin tones, it looks really beautiful. So that's a good example of something in the similar aspect. So just wanted to throw that out there. But overall, I do like both of these. I think they have a really nice sheen quality to them, and I actually love, 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 love the way that the light is picking these up because I think it's showing them true to sheen, which is nice. So now that we looked at these, we're gonna move on because I also, girl, we got more. Now next up, we're gonna dive into their Glowgasm wands. They released 3 new shades. Now on the website, they actually did swatches comparing these against their existing shade, which I didn't have. So I went ahead and I also picked up their duo that had the other glow wand as well as their contour wand. And I've seen a lot of really good reviews of the contour wand, so I wanted to pick it up. I won't be playing with it in this video, but I just want you guys to know I did pick it up. I will be testing it out in another one, but I picked up the duo just so I could compare, again, the 3 new shades against the 1 existing shade, just to see how they all compare with each other, because when I was on the internet, that was the one thing that I was kind of curious about, that when I saw the swatches, I'm like, girl has to know. All right, so this is the original in the shade Spotlight. Ooh, that's my girl right there. Yeah. Next one underneath of that is nice and deep, and it actually has a beautiful like warmth to it that I really like. This is in Goldgasm. Ooh, that's really pretty. Definitely not my tone as a highlight, but even if you wanted to sneak that up onto the eyes or something, that would be really beautiful. All right, and that one right there is Peachgasm. That's really beautiful too. Those 2 shades right there would look stunning on medium to deep skin tone. Oh my word. That is beautiful. Even as like, oh, what if I use that as a blush? Oh, like just like a light little boop, boop, boop. Because obviously like I have to set it, so the powder would like subdue it a little bit, but it would be a little glowy. Oh, I mean, we might be onto something, Paige. We might be onto something. So right here we have the very last shade. This is in Pinkgasm. And after looking at all of these swatches in real life, I am so glad I picked up all of these, because these are not at all what the swatches looked like on the website. They looked a lot lighter. And granted, it might just be like my skin tone versus the one on the website is a lot fairer, or maybe it's because these ones are more concentrated, they're not as sheared out, I don't know. But on the website, these ones right here, especially these 2 pink ones, they did not look nearly this pink on the site. So they're beautiful in real life, but just something to consider. It's gonna give you guys a little bit more of an up close, bring them into that light just a little bit. God, those are so beautiful. I really love the glow that those have. Now, obviously, the one that would work for my skin tone is the one on top, but I really like all of them, and I'm like dedicated to trying to figure out a way to make them all work because they're beautiful. Let me go ahead here. Oh God, I hate even having to remove something this beautiful because it's so freaking glowy, but we're going to take these off, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to prime foundation and get everything ready for this glow wand. So hang tight, guys, and I'll be right back to continue this video. All right, guys. Other makeup is on. I went in with my L'Oreal True Match in N2 Classic Ivory, and then for concealer, Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige, and we are ready to move on to some glowy goodness. Now, I think, let me just grab these here. I'm thinking I will go ahead and do Spotlight for my highlight, so let's go ahead and start there. Obviously, I haven't set anything down, and I think the way I'm going to do this is just take this little dropper and kind of pop, 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 pop a little bit of it right there. Okay, and then like spread it around maybe with my finger. Do a little bit of this action. Maybe pop a little bit up over the brow bone. Just see. My main curiosity with this is, does it glow or does it highlight? Like, is this going to be more of a natural moment? Because like, it's giving me a nice little glow. It's nothing too crazy. But I like that healthy little sheen, almost like a no makeup kind of sheen, which is really pretty. It's nothing that I would be like, oh wow, like holy put out, you know? But I really do think that's beautiful. And again, this is just the color that they had already released, so it's not the new shade or anything, but It's really beautiful. Definitely the one for my skin tone. I do feel like once it's completely patted and pressed into the skin though, you are left with just a very natural, subtle glow. Now let's see, I do want to just take a little bit more. I'm just going to grab it on my finger here. I want to see if you can build this up, because I feel like once I set my face, it's going to completely go away. And I've talked about this several times on my channel. Anytime for me, I play around with something like this, whether it's a jelly highlight or something, I always like to know that it's going to still pop through just even a little bit once I powder my skin. Now, if you don't powder your skin, that's not something you have to worry about. But there is a whole market of those of us that have super oily skin, and we do have to worry about that stuff. So I like to know if it's just going to pop through and if I'm going to be able to get any of that nice glow out of it. Like, that's really, really important to me. So I just went in there with a second layer and kind of pounced it out, and I'm using my finger so it's not absorbing any product or anything, and I'm mainly seeing just a nice healthy glow, which I'm not mad at. I think there's a lot of beauty to be had in just a nice healthy cheek moment, something especially if you're going again more natural-esque or something that's just more glowy with light coverage, something like that. Now for the ones that aren't exactly my skin tone, I want to just try them out as a little blush moment just to see. So I think I actually want to take Pink Ghasm, which was the last one I had swatched. It's that color right there. Really beautiful, super glowy. So I'm going to go in very, very light-handed, and this could be a big mistake. So we're just going to find out together. And I just want to take a little bit of it here, because if there's one thing I've learned about the Charlotte Tilbury products, it's that a lot of times they are very, very versatile. You can use them for several things, and I like knowing if I can use products for more than one thing, because hello, the more you can double duty, the better. Guys, I really love this. I just added a touch more to the apple of my cheek, and I love the way that this looks on the skin, and the way that it's sitting is super beautiful as well. It's giving me very nice natural pink, but it's nothing too crazy, nothing overdone. Again, if you wanted to do like a no makeup situation, I think you could. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to set the rest of the face using my Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair. We're just going to lightly set everything down. All right, so we're good with the setting, and I actually like it because I think you can still see a light little veil of pink through here. Let me see if I zoom you in at all, if it'll change that. Okay, so I moved it in a freckle, turned down the lights a little bit, so my skin tone I think might look a little bit funny, but if you can see very lightly, there's like this beautiful pink kind of sheen, but also color to the cheek that I just think in contrast to the other side is really pretty. So nothing over here, no glow, no nothing, versus this side. It's really pretty. It's very subtle, but it's very pretty. Also, if you can hear cars outside, I'm really sorry about that. I had to crack the window because I'm sweating to death. Because with the window across from me open, it's just like I'm baking in here like a little potato in an oven, and I'm not a fan. So I apologize if that's annoying. But guys, I really love the way that that looks on the skin. Now, a lot of times if you are like me and you have to powder your skin, you will notice that like right now it looks a lot more matte than you would like. But once you go in and set everything down with a spray, it'll actually come through just a little bit more. So we will hold out for that, but I think so far it actually looks really pretty. Okay, let me go ahead, zoom you guys out, and then we can keep moving. All right, so now we're going to dive into the face palette, which of course I'm going to be taking the bronzer all over the perimeters of the face just to see if it's good, if it's not, do I like it. I'm going to be doing that with my JH02 brush here. This is the one that Jaclyn Hill did with Morphe. It's a really good one. Mine looks a little beat up because I accidentally sat something on it, but like, don't worry, she's good. And we're just going to take this bronzer here and try to bronze it all over the face. I can't find my dual fiber brush if you're wondering, like, hey Paige, where did it go? I wish I knew, send help. But let's go ahead and just get our skin all bronzed up here and see how we like it. Now I'm going to start, I think, on this side and just, oh, actually that's beautiful. Okay, all right, not mad, not mad. All right, let's go ahead and try it on this side now, see how she's going. Yeah, super, super pretty. And I like it too because I can actually see a difference when I'm building this bronzer in between the sides where I've got more on. Like up here, I went ahead and I finished this whole side versus this side, I only have like 1 or 2 passes on. And there's an actual difference in the way it looks when you build it up, which is nice. So next up here, I'm going to go in with the Pop Blush right over here. And I'm going to take it obviously on this side because we don't have any blush going on. And I'm going to take that on the IT Cosmetics 227 Flawless Blush Brush here. And I'm just going to dive right on in and see how it looks. Now I'm gonna, ooh, I feel like I'm not hardly getting anything onto my brush, but it's also shimmery, so I need to be careful. And I did freshly clean this brush, so there is nothing else on it. Okay, so that's definitely a highlighty blush. Hello, can you guys see that? I'm like trying to turn this mirror so I can see what y'all are seeing. But there is a sheen. If this is not showing up, honey boo boo, There is a sheen to this like you would not believe. Now, it's not ugly in any way, but I definitely think that I would have liked something with maybe a little bit more color on it. All right, so I went ahead and I zoomed you guys pretty much all the way out just so you could see what I'm seeing, like the difference between the two. So this one is the one with the actual powder blush on it. We're doing the palette over here, and then the liquids are over here, and I set everything down. I don't hate either side. I am curious though. I want to go in with highlight right over here. First things first, I do need to spray my face. This is always how I do it. Anytime I go in with any highlight powder, I like to set my face. So let me go ahead here. I'm going to grab my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Words cannot express how good that feels to put on a nice spray and then fan your face when you're sweating. It's just like the best feeling because I'm literally sweating to death. Oh my God, it feels so good. So to highlight, again, we're on the powder side, and I'm going to take the highlight shade out of the light medium palette, and I'm going to grab my Wayne Goss 24S, and I'm going to just dive on in here. So I got my brush good and loaded. Oh, okay, not mad at you, sir. Okay, so as far as the highlights go, this one is definitely much more impactful than the Glow Wand. I really, really love that tone. Now, it is a little freckle too deep for my skin tone as I look at it. It could be a little bit brighter, just a little bit. But I do think that for the most part, this is something I would be able to wear on its own and not have any issues. God, that's so beautiful. I'm just kind of going in and working it out over the top of the cheek a little bit. Okay, now also just drifting over to the other side, the side that has no powder on it other than to set the entire face. I wanted to give it a second after I went in, sprayed my Morphe spray, just to see if like the glowiness of those glow spotlight sticks would come out. And I think I have a little bit of glowy coming through, but it's nothing too crazy. And that kind of bums me out because I was hoping I would get a little bit more from it between the spotlight here as well as the blush. And unfortunately, I'm really just not getting much out of it, which kind of sucks. And I also think too that if you're someone that maybe you only have to set certain areas, maybe you only set your T-zone or your under eye, something you could still use because then you don't have to set that area. Maybe you could set it a little less, use a really light powder. There's a lot of other ways you can get around this. Just for the powder that I typically use, which is my Maybelline Fit Me, and 05 Ferret is like my favorite powder, it's not working as well as I would like. Something else I want to point out before I do go in with this powder highlight on this side, I just wanted to say I am not mad or like shocked or whatever that it's not a beaming highlight like this. I do think you get a nice glow to it. I just wanted a little bit more to come out in real life because with these lights, I think you guys are definitely getting a little bit more of an intensified version than what there is going on right now. I just wanted to say there is a glow. I just wanted a little bit more. So what you're seeing is there. It's just not quite as intense in real life, but there is a little bit of a glow. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Now I am going to put the powder over top of it just to see maybe if it's a little bit more intense or how it looks on the skin. Maybe they react differently. So I think as far as the sheen goes, they're pretty much the same. And then you know what? I really do love the way that this one looks, and I didn't really get to play with this color all that much. How does that look? I was thinking about putting that on the lid, like maybe just kind of patting all this down and then just throwing it on there. Because I think that's the only shade out of the palette that I didn't get to use, and it's beautiful. So maybe just like pack it on just a little. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Okay, I'm not mad at it. Just for a little something something. All right, so I better do brows now because I'm starting to look a little bit, you know, odd. I'm starting to look a little bit like Voldemort. So let's go ahead and take our little brush here. Let's do some brows with the Urban Decay Double Down Brow Powder Duo in Neutral Nana. And I'm going to do, I think, like a very nice, lighter, more natural brow because that's, I think, what this look calls for. Which anytime you get to do brows that are more on the natural side, they're just a little bit less structured. It's actually really nice. I quite like this look. I've been doing it a lot more lately and trying to match like my brows to whatever my face makeup looks like, and I feel like it helps everything be just a little bit more cohesive, which is weird because like I never thought I would be that girl that would say that, but I really do like the look of it just as more of a natural, like give them a little bit of shape, but like they don't have to be perfect, and it's okay if they're not perfect. You know what I mean? For so long, I've been like, brows must be perfect. And now I'm just kind of like, meh, like, do they really? Like, no, they look fine. And it's okay to have a little bit more of like a glowy face situation and not go all kinds of crazy on the brows. Gotta spray one more time. Curl these lashes. Mascara these lashes. Little bit of lip liner. This is Buxom and Incognito. Little bit of gloss. Okay, you guys, this is the finished look. I really love the way that it came together. Lately, this has been my favorite for just like daytime go-to makeup, real quick, easy. I like it to be beautiful and glowy, especially going into summer. And out of these products, I have to say, like, of course it would be the $75 one. I really like the palette. Like, this for me is the standout because I do set my face. I think it just works a little better for me. Now, my only complaint is actually in the blush department. I wish that it had a little bit more straight pigment to it, so I could get a little bit more, because as you can see, it looks like I have almost no blush on right through here, and I went in pretty hard. So I don't know that I would count on this as like my overall blush. I think maybe if you're going to use it as like a blush topper and have another option with you for blush, because it's beautiful and it does do a great job at giving a little bit of life to the cheeks, but it doesn't give enough life that I feel like, oh, I have a blush on. I feel like I have a wash of pink that you can only see in certain lights, if that makes sense. So for me, that's the only shortfall of this palette. Other than that, I think it does do a really nice job at giving you a good glowy face base. If I had to recommend it, would I? Absolutely. I really like the palette. I love the shade of the bronzer even. I think my skin looks beautiful, and it gives a nice light buildable glow as well. It's not something where it's like, bam, you're either going to get all or nothing. Like, you don't have to go that route. You can really build it up to where you're comfortable, to your aesthetic. If you're going more full coverage and you want it to be more intense, you can build it there. If you're going on the more natural side and you want to play around, make it a little more playful, a little bit more sheer, you can do that as well and really work the items into your skin and allow that room for yourself to make that choice, which is really, really nice. So those are my thoughts on this guy. And again, I will be playing around with all of these and I will keep you updated in a product updates video. My struggle with the spotlight sticks is that for $38, I'm constantly left with like, is it worth it? Is it not? For me, I'm not sure if it is, because I do go in and powder my skin and I have to do more to make it work. But if you don't set your skin, or you are more on like the normal to dry spectrum, or you go in with more daytime, just glowy, dewy makeup, and you want to play around with those, I think you will get a lot of use out of them and it won't be a huge regret for you, because they are beautiful. They sit on the skin nicely. The formula is great, very workable, very malleable, and it was even buildable to a certain glowy extent, which is really, really nice. You guys, let me know your thoughts again down below. Were you curious about this? Are you happy that I did it? Is this not something you're curious about? Like, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you haven't checked me out on Instagram and on Twitter, they're both linked down below, and you will definitely want to do that if you like me, if you're into skincare, if you're into what is going on in my life. I'm going to be transforming my Instagram. You'll hear more about that in a lot of upcoming videos, so definitely stay tuned. If you haven't done so yet, you can also subscribe to the wonderful world of YouTube right here at Seeking Alexandria, because y'all, I upload 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan, so you have something fun, something fresh to start your day with, whether you're getting up, you're getting the kids ready, your man ready, you're hiding from your man, you're hiding from work, the day. All you need is you, coffee, and me, honey, and we will get the day started right. So definitely subscribe if that is what you're into, and you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Can we also talk about the fact that the mirrors from Charlotte Tilbury are so nice? I feel like they are so clear. Like, they are crystal to the point where I can see into my own soul. That's how good these mirrors are. Not that I'm saying you should buy a $75 palette for the mirror, but like, if you're buying it, the mirror is clutch. It is so nice. I left the box over there. That's a good spot for it. I'm sweaty. It's so warm. Oh man. But every car that drives by is gonna be really loud, isn't it? You know what, we're just gonna have to chance it, because I'm sweating. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Bow, 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 now, 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 bow, now, 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 now. What is his hair doing? Sir.